You're listening to the Floyd Main Street Podcast. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm your host, Lucas Graham, back for another edition of this week's Floyd Main Street Podcast. Joining me today are our usual co-host, Mr. Eric Branscombe. How you doing, Eric?
Doing good, Lucas. In uniform and on duty, ready to go.
All right, ready to roll. Mr. Chad Harris, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Good. We're here at the Floyd Main Street Podcast. We got plenty of things coming up this week, and Labor Day is approaching, so we've got some special stuff in store for you on this episode, as well as upcoming as well for the next week's edition. But we're going to jump right into things this week. We got several topics to talk about, both in news, music, and events. We're going to break it down. Let's start, fellas, this week with the Land Division Ordinance. We've got a big workshop coming up, or the evening, I should say, that this podcast releases. The county will be hosting a workshop. I don't know if they've designated it as a workshop or what they're calling it.
Well, it's a public hearing at this point from what I've seen. It's taking place the evening of August 26th, and they're going to be hearing from the public on this. Apparently, there has been some concern about misconceptions and confusion about the ordinance. The county posted on their website a list of compare and contrast from the old ordinance to the new ordinance and the advantages and disadvantages. That was also posted on the Floyd Times website, so people could go and take a look and see if the differences going on there. But clearly there's a real concern in the with county admin about confusion over this ordinance.
There definitely has been, and I went to that link that you were talking about on the county website that was a comparison of what the current ordinance is versus what the proposed ordinance was. I went over it, I sent it to Chad, and I know you looked over it too, and it helped, but I still felt like I was uninformed afterwards because quite honestly, and I don't claim to be anybody of high intelligence, but a lot of it was over my head. I could read it for what it was at face value, but really breaking it down and understanding what that meant and the impact that it meant was kind of over my head. And I think that is the position of a lot of people there. I don't know what the word for, if it's uninformed or just a lack of clarity.
I think you find people are always a bit suspicious of change. And that's probably what drives a lot of this. It's like, why are we changing it? What's going on with it?
Right.
You could look at it different ways, but one way to look at it is, are we changing it to make things better for the county, to have the county be able to better respond to new pressures that may possibly be coming? Have the developments that have happened so far, are they helpful or hurtful to the county? I mean, in other words, if we have things that are developed now, if we continue down that road, is that going to cause a problem? And maybe this is the ordinance to try to fix that.
That's right. And I had found some clarification on some of that too, as far as the ordinances and what their goals were for it. And I would love to get somebody from the board on here to clarify for our listeners potentially, and that might be another topic for another day. But there seems to be a lot of confusion on it. And the way it was perceived to me, though, was that, look, we're trying to protect things like farmers and families wanting to gift land down to, you say, children or grandchildren if they own 50 acres and they want to give a grandkid 5 acres to build on. It's a difficult task to do now. Or if you want to just break up some of your land to sell to pay some bills and clear some assets and things, it's not easy now. It's not easy. The way it was explained to me, okay, if you've got a 10-acre tract that you want to sell and the realtor says, okay, I think we can get this much money out of it, but you've got to get your entire 200 acres surveyed before you can do that. And then you got to get it perked, not just the piece that you're selling, but the entirety of your property. So in the end, you're going to end up selling this property, and instead of making 15, 20 grand on it, you're going to be making about 5 or 6 grand because you're 10, 15 deep in surveying and perking. And so their goal is to get rid of that, or change that, amend it, I should say, would be the better choice of words, so that it's easier for families to pass down. And then on the flip side, I think their goal was to maybe make it a little bit more difficult for the potential for subdivisions. I think, and that's what led to, at least it's what it was explained to me, that was the reason for the change. It used to be the subdivision ordinance.
Right.
And it's now been renamed the Land Division Ordinance because they felt like that was a more appropriate term for what that ordinance was.
Chad, you're looking awfully concerned. What is it you wanted to throw in on this?
Nothing major. As far as perking the land goes, it takes that out. At first, when I first read it, I thought, that's kind of dangerous, because somebody buys a piece of land sight unseen online, and they find out they've just bought 2 acres of swampland that won't perk. Now they've got a problem. But, the other side of looking at it is, of course, that part falls on the realtor. The realtor should put that in the contract, that as long as it perks, the sale goes through. But let's say, you just want to buy 2 or 3 acres in behind your house, and you have no intentions of ever building anything on it, then you shouldn't be required to have that perked. So I understand kind of where they're coming from as far as that angle goes. In some aspects, that's great.
It sounds like it's something everybody needs to delve into and see if that's where we want the county to go. I mean, I think that the only thing I'd like to see more, we had more of a clear statement of where we were going, because I think it's part of the confusion that nobody that I've seen, even with the latest postings from the county, said, like, why are you changing it? What is the goal in changing it? Because if we've got what we have posted on the county website now is compare and contrast between the new ordinance and the old ordinance and the things that they wanted to do better versus things that it has been. Why don't we summarize that? Are we trying to protect the county from development? That's what it seems like. Or are we opening up the county to development? Which way are we going with this? From what I'm seeing and reading on there, it looks like it's trying to slow down development.
It puts that responsibility to say, okay, all right, you bought this property, and if you want to put 1 tract per acre, and have a house and build you a neighborhood, well, you have to build that road. And if you want it to be a state-maintained road, you're going to have to go to exact VDOT specs, which is going to be an expensive thing. And then, only then will VDOT then come out, look at it, and they may not even take that road over. I did find out through one of the board members that I had that conversation with that the last time in Floyd County that a road was taken over by VDOT was almost positive, he said 2005. And that was the last time it happened. I don't know how many times it's been attempted since then and potentially denied, but that was presented to me as a big, big hurdle for anybody that would be wanting to look to put any type of subdivision in. Is there's some serious financial hurdles that you're going to have to get over before you can even attempt to do that. At the end of the day, my hope is just I want people to be informed about it. I don't want anybody to have the wrong information, certainly. And I just want people to be informed because it does affect you. It could affect your children. It could affect your future generations and if you're trying to give them land, and it's important issues.
Beyond that, we want people to be informed, but we don't want people to be misinformed, and we want people to understand there are things both ways. We don't want to give the wrong impression.
Right.
For example, we've mentioned before that on the board, when we're dealing with the land division ordinance, we've got 2 members of the board that are realtors. Well, that can work both ways. I mean, it's like that they know what they're doing, but is that working for them or against them? I think, quite frankly, if you've got people that are interested in helping the county and you trust those people to help the county, then they're going to have greater knowledge about how it's done.
Yeah, I certainly feel like they have the advantage looking at these ordinances and being able to benefit the county as a whole.
I'm sure
that's what they do every day.
You can break down the board, I think, in a lot of ways like that, because we've got 2 members of the board that are former law enforcement, so they're going to have more insight in how the sheriff's office works. You've got 2 members of the board that have moved to Floyd that weren't raised and born here, and that moved from outside, so they have a different perspective as well. All those are different perspectives, and that's what anybody brings to any one of these public service positions that they have.
Like you said, any of those angles, any of those positions, you could approach the job at hand, the task at hand, ethically or unethically. And like to Chad's point, I would imagine that those ones that are realtors on the board can probably look at that land division ordinance and break it down. It's an easier read for them. These are all topics and terminology that they're used to dealing with that the rest of us kind of have to almost, Google and figure out what this word means. What does this phrase mean? They do have that advantage. And so if it's being conducted ethically, then that's, like you said, it's a good thing.
Right. And it helps anyone on the board from being bamboozled by someone trying to push something through and don't know what they're pushing through on. At the same time, it's fair for people to be concerned about that as well. It's not untoward to ask questions about that, but what they should do is actually ask questions and talk to the members of the board if there's any question.
That's right.
None of this whispering in the background. I think it's really bring it out front. That's what I'd rather see.
And put a bow on that. That is 8/26, correct?
That's right.
Tuesday night, for those listeners who want to be a part of that. It is a public forum on this particular date, right?
Yes, it's a public comment.
And I think they're expecting a pretty good-sized crowd, so get there early if you are going.
Well, good deal. Yeah, that's coming up on Tuesday night. Keeping it within the county, I believe a couple of days prior to this recording, it was Wednesday night, I believe. The county admin also had a closed session at Sands Anderson, is what they had listed on their website for a review of the county administrator position. And so we should have an update on that for you.
As far as I know, we haven't heard anything so far. That's the one that was posted, I believe, on July 29th and was in the position opening closed on August 10th. So a fairly short period with a very limited exposure for that. But whatever applications came in, apparently those were being reviewed on Wednesday.
And we're at the end of the month, too. I mean, our office commonly it's preferred to hire on the 1st or the 15th. I would assume that's probably the county's policy throughout. So I don't feel like we'll know who it's going to be, for at least a couple of more weeks.
You don't have an inside scoop for us this time?
I would say October 1st if I was guessing. What do you think?
October 1st? I don't know.
You think September 15th?
I'm going to put it on September 15th.
All right, I'm going to take October 1st.
All right.
Let us know in the comments.
What are you taking, Lucas?
The 5th.
The right to shut up. Huh?
Yeah. How's that? Golf tournament.
Yes, we spoke about that last week, and I'm looking at the two of you, and you look not only relaxed, but exhausted. So I understand you had a golf tournament that was a fundraiser for Floyd County Cares.
Yeah.
How did it go?
I don't mean to brag, but I lost at least 8 golf balls today. So.
It's a great tournament, and we had a good turnout today, and seemed like it went as good as possible. But the part that frustrates me is apparently somebody has altered my golf clubs, Eric.
Are they a little too short or too long? Because if they're shorter ones, then maybe Chad could use them because he's got those long arms.
The long monkey arms. No, I think they actually modified the head of my golf club because every shot that I took today took just a hard right into the woods. And golf clubs aren't supposed to do that, but mine did.
Well, they might be Republican golf clubs.
Leaning to the right every hole.
Let's just say we're both going to church on Sunday.
Yeah.
And we didn't win the tournament, but we did have fun.
It was a good time. And
do we know any numbers? I mean, how many people were there?
did we have 10 teams?
Yeah,
10 teams and 4 people to a team, so about 40-some people
40
competing.
people.
It was captain's choice.
It was, yeah.
Any idea who won?
Not us. The team behind us, I think, was 10 under on the 12th hole. I feel like they probably won.
Mm-hmm.
They had one boy on there that recently he posted on his Facebook page. He had a GoPro attached to him, and he'd hit a hole in one. So they got some pretty good golfers on that team. He was just one of 4. So I think they probably wiped the floor with us all. But Montgomery County Sheriff's Office had a team represented that had some pretty good golfers in it, too. I don't know what they scored, but like today it was a little misty, a little rainy to start, but the sun broke through on the back 9, and it was just a great day to play golf because it wasn't hot. You weren't sweating, dropping buckets in sweat. I mean, it was just a good day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was for a great cause. Medical Charities of Floyd, they do so much for this community. And even though we hosted a golf tournament to collect money for Medical Charities of Floyd, that's something that you could donate to year-round.
Oh, in fact, we have that happen all the time because my office serves as the drop-off point for that. And
ours too.
The folks come through and we'll leave the checks here, and we have the staff from Medical Charities will come by and pick that up.
We talk about that for just a quick second for those who may not know about it. What is the Medical Charities of Floyd? Give me an example of who that would benefit.
Medical Charities of Floyd is a charity, kind of an umbrella that was set up to cover all sorts of activities in Floyd.
I believe it was founded by Gino Williams.
Gino
correct?
Williams and Shannon Zeman.
I'm sure he was a part
the
of
people that were very instrumental in part of that. And Shannon is still a member of the board. I'm on the board at the moment. The idea behind that is you can easily set up fundraising activities and have them be charitable because they can be adopted by Floyd County Cares. And you can have people that just give generally to Floyd County Cares, and that can be released from time to time. And then if you need to set up whatever fundraiser you need for a particular charity in Floyd, for someone, a member of your church or a child that has some medical issues and you want to set up a fundraiser for them, you can make it a charity under Floyd County Cares, and they can set up an account and everything can go in that way. It works out very well. That's not all the particulars, but the idea is that it makes it easier for people to come in and set up something to make the whole process of getting the charitable contributions smoothed out so it's not complicated about jumping through different hoops and so forth. It's already set up there for people to use.
And so once that's approved, then they will pay your medical bills, correct? So if there's a person that say they get a hardship and they're getting these medical bills, they can just bring them in to the Secretary of Floyd Cares and she will pay them?
Well, it's not 100%, but I mean, it's a matter of helping out where we can. And the board will meet and take votes on how much of the core money that's there. But a lot of it's really helping other groups get together and organize so that that goes in. For example, this Josiah Cockrum, I mean, that's going to be one of those where people can come in and donate, and money goes to that. So people can donate anonymously. You can have other businesses and so forth that if they want to donate, that can go in and can be a part of their charitable contribution, so it's tax deductible. And that just kind of accumulates there, and then that can be used to help pay off that.
That was going to be my next question. It is tax deductible for those that want them.
Right, so it's when those are set up. So that's the advantage of having Floyd County Cares. But what you want to do is you want to check first to make sure that any group is already set up with them. Because most of these fundraising efforts are, but it's all done individually. And we don't have, here in my office, and I don't think in Chad's office, would have particular knowledge about everything that's set up. We'd have to check with the staff in Floyd County Cares to see exactly what is set up at the moment.
Right. It's an annual tournament we have. Of course, we're now a year out from it. But if you like to play golf, want to help with the tournament, play in it, support that charity, be on the lookout for that next year. It'll be coming up. Moving on, though, I want to talk about the Floyd Times a little bit. We mentioned it in, was it last week's episode that we mentioned the Floyd Times
we
launching?
mentioned that they were launching, and they did, in fact, launch on Wednesday.
Their website's up.
They're online. You can find them at floydtimes.com.
Okay.
And you can subscribe 3 different levels. There's the $5 a month, $15 a month, or $50 a month for help, get you different levels of service and access to stories. So they are up and running. As we said, Abby Witt, the last editor of the Floyd Press, is the editor and is active on that site. And I think they have at least one other, if not 2 other writers at this point.
I know they're doing a subscription-based. You said that was tiered on the website?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
What are those prices?
Well, it's $5 per month, $15 a month, and $50 a month.
And I wonder what that is in comparison to the Floyd Press now. How much is it to get the Floyd Press sent to you? I don't have a clue.
I don't have a clue.
It's so obsolete.
It's
now,
probably $2.50 in the store, right? Or more.
It's
$3 a paper.
$3 per paper in the store.
I haven't bought one in a while. So.
Well, we kind of let our subscription here at the office lapse because it didn't really cover much that was going on in Floyd anymore, which is sad.
How do you expect it to be a local hometown newspaper when you don't even have an editor or a beat writer in the town? The closest 1-2 hours away in the city. That's an injustice to the citizens.
I mean,
of Floyd.
Colleen Redmond, that's local, was still doing a story or 2.
She is? Okay.
But I don't know how well things were going and what the exact issues are with the Floyd Press at this point.
Print media is in a tough spot as it is.
Mm-hmm.
Times now where you've got social media, especially, and people sign up news websites and applications that you can get instantaneous headlines pushed to your phone as a notification. People aren't going to wait till Wednesday for the next paper to come out to read a story that they got on their
podcast
phone. Or the next podcast. We stay on top of it, though, here at the Floyd Main Street Podcast.
Yeah. Edit that part out, John.
Freedom of speech.
Yeah. So thanks for that segue, Eric. We'll just turn on over to music here. It's a little light this week on music in Floyd. I know Labor Day's coming up, but we do have a little bit to talk about.
We do have a bit.
Starting Thursday, Buffalo Mountain Brewery. You've heard these people before. Henry Hart and the Mudcats.
Well, now, I'm going to back you up. There's still a Why Not Wednesday going on from 2:30 to 5 p.m.
Tell me about that. Where's that at?
Well, that's across from Whiskered and Tails.
Hippie Hollow.
Hippie Hollow. Sorry, Hippie Hollow.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, just that it's from 2 to 5 on Wednesday.
Okay. I didn't know. I didn't see that one. Thanks for catching that one.
Let's see. I don't see anything set particularly for next week, but that it is on Wednesdays from 2:30 to 5.
This is just a weekly installment that they're doing.
Live music in the creek. Bring a chair or a tube, a cooler, and a donation for the band.
Huh.
There you go.
Down at the Hippie Hollow.
Has anybody been?
I have not been yet.
I'd like to know what their experience is.
Well, you would blend.
We might have to send our production crew out there for a test.
Yeah.
He recently did the Floyd walking tour and talked very highly of it. And so,
Heard that was a smashing success.
yeah, which is pretty cool. I could probably stand to learn something from it, even though as a Floyd native, I have to take the walking tour. Getting off topic here, though. Let's keep it on some music.
So the brewery on Thursday.
Yeah, brewery on Thursday. Moving on to Friday at Dogtown. They are featuring Stephanie Lee and the Wannabes. That is a ticketed event, so check that out. I'm not entirely sure their exact genre. I believe they're a multi-genre band with some covers thrown in there with originals, but it is a ticketed event on Friday night. Eric, your favorite.
Small Town Summer.
Yep, tell us about it.
All right, starting around 6 o'clock in the evening, Floyd Small Town Summer over at the Limebury Park.
Mm-hmm.
Got 2 bands, the New Dawn Starchestra and Sam Furbush Organ Trio.
That's interesting.
I have no idea what that means.
That is interesting. I don't either.
What movie's playing?
It's same as last week.
I see you over there sitting on your hands to keep from clapping.
Yeah. We love a good movie, don't we, Eric? That's a Small Town Summer. Is this the last Small Town Summer? We're bound to be nearing the end of it.
It is the last.
It is the last one. All right. So, y'all, if you haven't caught it, if you're like me and haven't caught one, this would be the last chance to get it.
They're winding up with the Organ Trio.
The Organ Trio. It's been a pretty big success. Everything I've seen, that place is packed.
The last one was completely packed out.
Of course, guess other people realized that Man of Constant Sorrow himself was there.
Yeah.
And that probably played a little bit of factor into it. I'm still upset that I missed that. But I don't see anything for Friday night at the country store. Of course, we know they have the Jamboree every Friday night.
Yeah, that'll be there.
There's going to be music. I don't know if there's a featured band in the country store itself, which is usually where their headline act is. If they do, I haven't found it listed. But you can definitely check out the Jamboree. It's a constant staple. And we're getting into the time of year where it would be, if you haven't checked out the Jamboree, it would be a really good time of year. The leaves are going to start changing. It's going to be kind of a crisp in the air, so it's not going to be hot. And That'd be a really good time to go check it out. Get you some ice cream next door at the soda fountain. But Saturday, though, they do have listed their Americana afternoons, and that'll be at the country store on Saturday. If you don't make it to the country store, there is always Wildwood. Wildwood is always
5 to 7, just 4 miles south of town.
On the right. But that should do it for the music this week that we have listed. We've got a few events to talk about coming up.
Before we go to that,
go ahead.
Let's go ahead and touch on YogaJam. We've already pre-recorded an episode for that weekend because our editor's going to be out of town. So we won't be recording a episode per se on events and music that week.
Right.
So let's go ahead and touch on YogaJam. Okay. That's the 28th through the 31st.
Right.
And it's at the Burnett Farm in Willis. And there's several bands playing. You can obviously go on Google and check that out. But some of the bands that are playing is Oh He Did.
What?
Say that 3 times real fast.
I was able to pull it up on the official Floyd YogaJam website. Oh He Did is listed as a soul, rock, R&B, and funk.
A couple of these, I'm a little leery that I'm just going to butcher the name. Hudost, Hudost.
Hudost. And I do not see them. I was trying to find their genre.
Florenza and the Feeling.
And they are pop, funk, and Latin rhythm.
Cap Mills, Captain Midnight, Mighty Joshua. There's a bunch of bands, so check them out.
I mean, I'm seeing a lot of funk, a lot of rock. This is a local band I've talked about playing at Dogtown, Jared Stout Band, Southwestern Virginia alt country and Appalachian rock. So probably good diversity. There's a Virginia Hollow, homegrown Americana is what they're listed as. Probably a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's always a fun time. I mean, it's like a party atmosphere down there. So you got all the different food trucks and different things to eat, and there's like a carnival atmosphere you've got people walking around on stilts and jugglers and so forth.
But what people are real interested in is, do you get out there in your yoga pants and stretch?
All you need to do is come around here to the courthouse on a Monday morning. You can just ask Chad.
I don't even want to think about that.
He's had enough trauma.
That turns my stomach.
For those of you that listen to the podcast that have mentioned and suggested that we do video on top of the audio,
that would be a bad idea.
There's your visual right there that tells you why we don't do it.
Next time we record, I'll be in my yoga pants. How about that?
Fair enough. We don't have video, so you don't have to look. But
I might take sick day that day.
There you go. Some events coming on this week. One that is probably going to be the biggest event, at least it looks like, is the brewery's having a big canine dog event.
Pint-size paws cause.
The Pint-Size Paws Cause.
On Saturday.
And that is coming up Saturday at the Buffalo Mountain Brewery.
That's right, from 12 to 6.
Okay.
You enjoy craft beers, live music, delicious food, activities, and, as always, there will be adoptable pets.
Our animal control at the Floyd Sheriff's Office has hosted events there and some other places at Citizens, and they're always a big success.
Mm-hmm.
There's always good food. They bring in some food trucks. Looks like they're even going to be doing like a 50-50 raffle. Lawn games. I don't know if that's cornhole, I would assume. Kids' activities. There's a lot going on. And the brewery's really good about hosting events like that and making community the focus of it. But the Humane Society will be looking for help on that the 30th from 12 to 6, as Eric said. Moving on, bingo's coming back to the library on Wednesday. Do not forget to miss that one. They're actually doing it from 2 to 3 this week, 2 to 3 p.m.
Is that early?
I think so, but, that might be by the time the crowd gets out of bingo at 3 p.m., you catch your 4 p.m. supper.
Well, you could always head on down to Why Not Wednesday.
There you go.
Right after that.
There you go.
With your winnings.
Yeah, take your winnings from bingo. Chad, you got anything coming up on the events that you know of? I know there's maybe a cornhole tournament coming up at the Moose Lodge, but I believe that's on maybe Sunday the 31st.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing here.
Looking at Sunday the 31st at 2 p.m., the Moose Lodge, 444 Floyd Highway South.
And that's a singles tournament, too. A single-player cornhole tournament.
Okay.
Oh, so
I don't think I've ever done that. It's usually always been duos when I've played cornhole, but there is a prize on that, too, if I remember reading.
It's to help local schools with school supplies and their students this upcoming year. It's $10 entry fee, so it should be a good time.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yet another
fundraiser.
Another thing that you can do for fun. Everybody loves playing cornhole, right? And I really don't know anybody that would just flat out say, no, I don't like cornhole.
Well, I like it. I'm just terrible at it.
Two different things. You can like it and be terrible at it. I proved that today on the golf course. Come play cornhole, raise money for the kids. And that's actually something that I've seen some talk of some teachers that I know, friends with on Facebook, that they've talked about the challenges of that, of just how much the difference that they see, especially the seasoned teachers, where used to families would take their kids out, say, the weekend. I know they have the tax-free weekend now, but you got your school clothes out. I always get me a new pair of pants and a couple shirts and get me a new pair of shoes for school and the whole 9 yards. But you also got your notebooks, right? Your pencils and your papers, all that kind of stuff. You got everything that you would need for school. You got it ready. It sounds like that's not a very common thing anymore, that teachers are being expected to provide that.
Yeah.
And, hey, whether it's a hot topic or not, I don't care. Teachers don't get paid enough.
This is a chance to have a little fun, give back.
Exactly. And then getting supplies for those kids, because, I don't know, that's a hard thing to think. You got a kid that's there eager to learn, but they're not even given the tools to learn. So come out, support that cornhole at the Moose Lodge.
And Friday night, the last Friday of the month, so it's ladies' night at Chateau Morissette.
That's right. We were talking before the
6:30 to
recording.
10.
That's a really popular event. Karaoke, right? Or some other stuff. Or a DJ, is that right?
Yeah, DJ, karaoke. It's kind of a little bit of everything.
Ladies'
and
night.
It's ladies only.
I don't know if anybody listened to how many times if you've ever ate at Chateau Morissette, but their food is phenomenal. At least what I've ate there. Last time I ate there, I had some shrimp and grits.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to have to stop talking about it because I just played 18 holes of golf and I'm hungry.
Well, the last thing that I've got on this list here is on Saturday the 30th from 12 to 4 is Music of the Mountains exhibit at the Floyd Historical Society Museum just here in town, right down from the courthouse
sounds
next
really
to Carter
interesting.
Bank. Focuses on music of Appalachia, particularly music that has a Floyd County touch. It includes items that range from early church music to the present music scene, along with information about individual musicians such as blind Alfred Reed, Randall Hilton, Arthur Connor, as well as local groups. So that'll be on Saturday, August 30th from 12 to 4, and it is free.
At the Historical Society, correct? And
That's
they're
right.
located, their building is in town.
Right here in town, right next to the Carter Bank.
That'll be a good event to check out. There's been some really good musicians that come through Floyd County over the years, and some fantastic music makers and instrument makers too, which sounds like they'll talk about.
I'm looking at the pictures they've got. Looks like a whole range of different type of items for down-home music and maybe a few demonstrations. Who knows?
Take it. Sounds good. I don't think I have anything else as far as events for this week. Chad, you got anything else that we missed? I don't think so.
That's a wrap.
I think Chad's just tired.
Yeah. Ready for a good nap. Ready for a good nap.
You might as well give me some survey tape today, Eric, as much time as I spent in the woods.
His middle name is now Slice. Oh, man. But I appreciate everybody for tuning in this week. And the ones that listen every week, we appreciate the heck out of you. Y'all are the best, and we appreciate everybody that shares it. Don't forget, if you haven't already, like and subscribe. YouTube page, Facebook. Go check us out so you can get that notification when the episodes drop on Tuesdays. We're also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We're on iHeartRadio, and I always know I miss a few, but basically if it's a platform that you can get podcasts on, we're going to be on it. Or if you have a platform that you normally get podcasts and you don't see us on there, let us know. We want to make it accessible to you. But I believe everybody has YouTube.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Pretty much everybody. But we appreciate everybody. We appreciate our production team and all the work that John X puts into it and Big Country Cockrum. They make the wheels turn, as I always say. But until next week, look forward to, we got a special interview coming up next week in lieu of a Labor Day podcast. Got 2 special guests for that one. And
That's right.
Be sure to check that interview out. We'll see you back for a regular episode after Labor Day. But I'm your host, Lucas Graham, just reminding you to take care of yourself and take care of the ones you love. Till next time.
Treasures